Hello, my name is Derek, developer of Conversion Bridge. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the new features that are available in the latest release, version 1.11. Some big updates were around the Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager integrations. The first being that GA4 and Google Tag Manager are separate integrations now. Second being with Google Analytics, we can now connect via OAuth. That means just connecting with Google here with our button, logging into our account, giving permissions to Conversion Bridge, selecting our property, and now we have Google Analytics all set up on the website. What I'm really excited about is the new Google Analytics dashboard right in the WordPress admin. You can see we can enable that dashboard here in our settings. And then once that's enabled, we can click on Google Analytics here in the top left of our dashboard. And then we get our Google Analytics information right here in our WordPress admin. Starting with our general sessions and page views in a large chart, some overview information, new versus returning users, devices, weekdays heat map, our top pages, top channels, referrals, locations, and if you have e-commerce tracking on your site, you can see your top products and also how your overall purchase journey is doing. We can also sort by our days by seeing the last 30 days by default. We can sort by 7, 90. We can even see real-time data or even select a custom range. We also have the options to follow Google Consent mode for Google Analytics and Google Ads. Next up is our 3 new plugin integrations. First, we'll go with Fluent Cart, which when enabled, you can track purchases, of course, but you can also track the entire conversion funnel, starting when the single product page view is seen, when customers select variants of a product, when they add to cart, when they view the cart, or when they begin the checkout process. Again, this gives you the entire checkout funnel that you can track from start to finish. Next up is the Paymattic integration, which when enabled, allows you to enable conversion tracking on each of your individual payment forms. This will send the information over to your analytics platforms or ad platforms that support it as actual purchase conversions and include the items that were purchased and also how much, along with any of the additional information about the purchase. Last but not least, we have our Breakdance integration, which once enabled allows us to track the conversions on 8 different elements. Here in Breakdance, we can see our example elements that can now enable tracking. For example, we have our button, which when you click on the element, all it takes is just a simple toggle and conversion tracking is enabled. Also works for other elements like text links, forms, which we can enable conversion tracking there. On the pricing table, again, very simple, add conversion tracking. It'll track when some users click on the button here in the pricing table. Here on the icon box, the image box, notification bar, and image hover bar. Next up on our integrations is our analytics platforms. The first one we're going to go over is Koko Analytics. There's no configuration options because this is a WordPress plugin, so there's nothing more that you need to configure in order to get it to work with Conversion Bridge. Just install Conversion Bridge, Koko Analytics, and you're all set and running. Now, Koko Analytics does require that you set up custom events before they can be tracked, but don't worry, Conversion Bridge automatically sets these up for you. So like I said, there's no additional configuration needed in order to get started with Koko Analytics. When looking at the Koko Analytics dashboard, you'll see that it's tracking all the page views, but now Conversion Bridge helps set up tracking on all your custom events as well. The next integration is also an analytics platform, this one called Active Analytics. Just like Koko, this one has no settings because it is also a WordPress plugin, so there's no additional setup required. In the Active Analytics dashboard, we actually want to switch to the Events tab, and this is where we'll see all the custom conversion events that have been tracked by Conversion Bridge that you've configured on your site. Everything from e-commerce to button clicks to form submissions will end up here. Conversion Bridge now also integrates with 2 more cookie banner pop-up plugins, including WP Legal Pages and Termly. When these are enabled, no additional configuration is needed. Conversion Bridge will take care of all the technical requirements in order for your analytics and ad platforms to stay compliant with the user's selection from their cookie banner. Conversion Bridge also works with the WP Consent API, which means any cookie banner that also sends it to the WP Consent API will also automatically work with Conversion Bridge without even needing a direct integration. If you enable a cookie plugin integration, you'll notice this new option for the event queue system. Let's take a look at what that means and what it does. A user visiting your site with a cookie pop-up may come to your homepage and then click on a blog post, about, shop, and then finally do the accept all. If you do that, in normal situations, none of those previous page views would ever get captured with the internal conversion bridge tracking system. With the event queue system, all these events will now get tracked if we submit our form. Now, if we look at the form submissions and specifically the conversion journey for that latest one, we'll notice that every page view was tracked from the very first page all the way to the final form submission, even though the user did not give approval until several pages deep. What this does is it stores the page views in a local storage in the user's browser. It's not sent to the database until the user gives approval. Then it's all written to the database. This only works with internal tracking for conversion journeys, and unfortunately is not available to work to send data to ad platforms or your analytics platforms. In addition to all these fantastic new features, there's also been improvements and various enhancements to all the existing integrations. Check out the changelog to see exactly what those improvements look like. I think Conversion Bridge is now by far the best overall analytics plugin in the WordPress space.